Vin Diesel built an empire on brotherhood and family, but behind the fame lies a tragedy he can't escape. When Paul Walker died in 2013 something inside Diesel broke forever. He named his daughter after Paul. He keeps an empty chair on every movie set. Every November 30th he stops filming completely. But that's not the worst part. A lawsuit from 2023 threatens to destroy everything he built. His former assistant claims something happened in an Atlanta hotel room in 2010. Diesel's lawyers are fighting back, but the damage may already be done. On July 18, 1967, in Alama County, California, a baby named Mark Sinclair came into the world with no father listed on the birth certificate, just a blank space. His mother, Delora, was a white astrologer with Scottish roots, but she wouldn't say who the father was, not even years later. All Diesel ever learned was that his parents' relationship would have been illegal in parts of the country before 1967. That meant one thing. His father was likely a man of color, but that mystery, that silence became part of who he was. He once joked that his racial identity was like Schrodinger's cat, neither one thing nor the other, until someone opened the box. But he never did. Even today he's never taken a DNA test. He says he doesn't want the mystery solved. He didn't grow up in the suburbs. Instead, he and his twin brother Hall lived in a strange echoing place called Westpath, an old industrial complex in Greenwich Village turned into affordable housing for artists. It was a maze of paint-splattered walls, wild costumes, broken elevators, and neighbors like Miles Davis and Diane Arbus. Their stepfather, Irving Vincent, was a black theater director, and he was the reason they got in. Diesel was just a kid, but the environment shaped him. At age 7, Diesel and his friends broke into a local theater with crayons, planning to graffiti the place. But instead of calling the cops, the theater director handed them scripts and $20 bills. On one condition: come back every day for rehearsal. Diesel said yes. The play was called Dinosaur Door, and he played a prehistoric gatekeeper with no front teeth and a voice so deep it shocked adults. But childhood wonder didn't pay the bills. By 17 he was fighting every night. From 1984 to 1993, he worked as a bouncer at Manhattan clubs like Tunnel and Mars. He wasn't throwing out frat boys. He was dealing with gang members, mafia affiliates, and drug dealers. He later said he got into hundreds of fights. Some who worked with him said it was in the thousands. One hospital near 11th Avenue even used Diesel as a nickname for reports of a large bald bouncer. That nickname stuck. Vin came from his stepfather's surname, Vincent. Diesel came from coworkers teasing him about his non-stop energy. You run on diesel fuel, man. And so, Mark Sinclair slowly became Vin Diesel. He tried college, enrolled at Hunter in 1987, majoring in English. By day he studied literature. By night he bounced drunks off club walls and sold light bulbs over the phone. But school didn't last. In 1990, just 3 credits away from graduating, he dropped out. He had read about Robert Rodriguez making El Mariachi for $7,000. Diesel figured he could do that too. Professors begged him to stay. One even mailed him a folder of rejection letters with a note: finish school. He didn't. But decades later, the same college gave him an honorary doctorate, proving that sometimes dropping out leads you exactly where you're meant to go. Tunnel nightclub. His identity became something sacred. Staff weren't allowed to use real names for safety. Diesel went by Vin D. No social security number, no personal info on the roster, just the name Diesel. Patrons thought it described his build. It added to the myth, and Diesel leaned into it. That nightclub life made him a ghost when he wanted to be. It also made him crave privacy. Even now, he keeps his homes under company names. The need to stay hidden started there in those smoky rooms long before the cameras ever found him. His body built more in alleys than gyms. He didn't have a fancy trainer. He had kegs and push-ups on sticky floors. He benched beer barrels, did reps between shifts, grew from 165 to 205 pounds. In 5 years, his muscles came from surviving, not sculpting. He once broke a bone in his hand during a fight and turned it into strength by squeezing stress balls during recovery. When Universal later described him as looking like a nightclub tank, they weren't wrong. He was built for impact long before action scenes. But Hollywood didn't open its arms. His first on-screen role was in Awakenings, a blink and miss appearance as an uncredited hospital orderly in a film that got nominated for Best Picture. That was it. For the next 5 years he didn't land a single speaking part. He couldn't get cast. He was too mixed to be white, not visibly black, not Latino enough. No one knew what to do with him. Casting directors told him to pick a side. He didn't. He wrote instead. In one all-night sprint in 1994, he pounded out a script about an actor stuck between identities. He called it multifacial. He had no money, so he shot it for $3,000 in just 3 days. Scored it himself because he couldn't afford music. First, no one cared. Early feedback was cold. He almost quit editing. His stepfather, the man who'd raised him, stepped in and pushed him to finish. That little push mattered. The film premiered at the Anthology Film Archives. Then it got into con. Crowds packed the room. For the first time, the industry saw him. 1 year earlier, his mother had given him a paperback book for Christmas. He was broke. She couldn't afford much else. The title was Feature Filmmaking at Used Car Prices. Diesel devoured it in one sitting. The lesson was simple.